Hello, we are freshmen from North Hollywood High School. On the wall of our English teacher's class, there is a great painting of a tidal wave hanging above the clock. It depicts a huge wave, almost like a tsunami, crashing down on several boats. The name of this piece is The Great Wave off Kanagawa, painted by a Japanese artist, Hokusai. And this is what our poem is about.
Here is Rain Effect by Mary Ruefle. A bride and a groom sitting in an open buggy in the rain, holding hands but not looking at each other, waiting for the rain to stop, waiting for the marriage to begin, embarrassed by the rain, the effect of the rain on the bridal veil, the wet horse with his mane in his eyes, the rain cold as the sea deep as love, big drops of rain falling on the leather seat, the rain beaded on a rose pinned to the groom's lapel, the rain on the bride's bouquet, on the baby's breath there, the sound of the rain hitting the driver's top hat, the rain shining like satin on the black street, on the tips of patent leather shoes. Hokusai's father who polished mirrors for a living, Hokusai's father watching the sky for clouds, Hokusai's father's son drawing rain over a bridge and over the people crossing the bridge, Hokusai's father's son drawing the rain for hours, Hokusai's father rubbing a mirror, the rain cold as the sea cold as love, the sea swelling to a tidal wave, at the tip of the wave white.
One of the first observations you can make about this poem is how fluid it sounds. In this 21-line poem, there's no period, only commas, until the last line. It has a flowing cadence, like water, which relates to the topic of water in this poem. The poem begins with a bride and groom on their wedding day, both waiting for the rain to stop, waiting for the marriage to begin. This rain represents a mix of emotions: nervousness for starting the marriage, fear of entering a new chapter of their lives, and possibly some sadness of closing their past lives.
This is why the rain is described as being cold as the sea. The word cold is almost always associated with sadness. Again, this choice of words supports the representation of the couple's emotions. The poem then describes the rain falling on the bride's bouquet, the groom's clothes, and the horse that's pulling their carriage. All of these things being drenched are wedding related, showing how the couple's nervousness is interfering with their special day.
These emotions are understandable because honestly, if I were to be married, I would also be afraid of what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, I agree. It's a big step that can be overwhelming because you are starting a new chapter of your life. It's understandable to be unsure of a decision that could have a drastic effect on your whole future.
Now the poem shifts focus to Hokusai, a Japanese artist who drew the Great Wave off Kanagawa. Hokusai drew the painting in 1831 as a woodblock print. His father, Nakajima Ise, was a mirror maker for the shogun.
You may wonder why the author includes the artist's name in her poem. Well, Mary Ruefle often takes inspiration from an art piece and tries to make her own story out of it. Ruefle was born outside of Pittsburgh and loved visiting galleries and museums since her childhood. In her interviews, Ruefle reveals that artists like James Soutine, Simone Martini, and Agnes Martin had large influences on her journey as a poet. This poem is basically her interpretation of Hokusai's art. The author uses something called a pleonasm, which is a literary technique for emphasizing something by using more words than necessary. When the author says Hokusai's father's son, she is highlighting the relationship between them.
The poem ends with the rain cold as the sea cold as the love, the sea swelling into a tidal wave, at the tip of the wave white. The author describes that the raindrops gather to become a sea, and that the sea symbolizes the couple's love. So how come the rain, which represents the nervousness and doubts of the wedding, is connected to love? Well, the whole point why the couple cannot look at each other while feeling these emotions is because of the shame they feel. The bride and the groom should feel dedicated, they should feel certain about this marriage, but instead are clouded with worries. However, this rain of emotions arises because of their great love for each other. It's simple, really. The more you love or care about something, the more you become worrisome about it.
It is the same for all of us. The things dearest to us cause us the most fear and anxiety. The author shows the dual relationship connecting the rain as cold as the sea to the sea deep as love.
A bride and a groom sitting in an open buggy, in the rain, holding hands but not looking at each other, waiting for the rain to stop, waiting for the marriage to begin, embarrassed by the rain, the effect of the rain on the bridal veil, the wet horse with his mane in his eyes, the rain cold as the sea deep as love. Big drops of rain falling on the leather seat, the rain bedded on a rose pinned to the groom's lapel, the rain on the bride's bouquet, on the baby's breath there, the sound of the rain hitting the driver's top hat, the rain shining like satin on the black street, on the tips of patent leather shoes, Hokusai's father who polished mirrors for a living, Hokusai's father watching the sky for clouds, Hokusai's father's son drawing rain over a bridge and over the people crossing the bridge, Hokusai's father's son drawing the rain for hours, Hokusai's father rubbing a mirror, the rain cold as the sea cold as love, the sea swelling into a tidal wave, at the tip of the wave white.
Thank you for listening. We would like to credit the poem Rain Effect, which can be found in Mary Ruefle's book Cold Pluto. Details about Ruefle's life can be found from Tim Ellison's article on the Plowshares blog. Music used throughout this podcast was found from YouTube Audio Library. Songs include Strange the Dreamer by Savk and Fading by Sapphirose. This podcast was made using Soundtrap.